Okay, so I know that I said that I would come and talk more tomorrow, but I just got off of a team call and it reminded me of um, something that I had read a couple months ago, and I thought that I would go ahead and share while I was thinking about it. So, this author who writes online all the time, he's very motivational. He's made millions of dollars in marketing and advertising, and he just has a lot of positive things to say. He's hilarious. His column is great. His name is Kevin Daum, Daum, and you can find him online and like his page. It's a great thing to go in there and like his page because then you'll get other things that he says, and he's very positive and uplifting. So tonight at our meeting, our upline was talking about boldness and how we have to be bold and we want to make people take notice. And that's what Kevin's article was about that he talked about earlier. And he had a quote on there, not sure if it's actually from the German poet Goethe, but that's who it's attributed to, so we'll just say that it is. He said, "Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now." So Kevin goes on to explain 7 things that leaders do to be bold. So I thought I would go ahead and share some of those with you, kind of in a summarization form, a little bit with some of the stories that I have to go along with it. So the first thing that he says is to own your own flaws and strengths. Okay, most of us are really good at saying what we do well. Some people are really good at saying what they don't do well. But we need to find a balance of saying the things that we need to improve upon, and as well as acknowledging the things that we're already good at so that we can work really well with our teams and with other people. The second thing that he says is keep clear priorities. I think it's really important to keep your priorities clear. I know that I have a tendency to get distracted. Squirrel, it's something that I just tend to do. And one of the things that he says is don't get distracted. Don't let all of the things that happen in life distract you from your priorities and what you need to get done. He says know what you need to accomplish. So always be asking yourselves, what do you need to accomplish and how are you going to make that happen? Try not to let life's little distractions get you away from what you want to do with your life. 3, he says, speak up. Leaders speak up. They know when to say something and they know how to say something. One of the worst things that we could do is make somebody feel like we're bullying them, make somebody feel like we are pushing them to do something that they don't want to do. And it's really important when you're working as a team leader that your team feels comfortable and confident in you, that you're going to listen to them, that you're going to support them, but also that you're going to say, no, I don't agree with that, and you have those conversations to help them understand why maybe you don't agree with something. He says don't ever allow silence to get you off course. Don't let it derail your team from their purpose. Sometimes it's better to speak up and have those conversations. In fact, I would say most of the time it's better to speak up and have those conversations than to just be quiet and let things go when really we need to be talking about them. The fourth thing that he says leaders do in order to be bold is we pair action with knowledge. And yeah, I say we because I believe that I'm a leader. Of course, there are a lot of things that I need to learn, but I intend on being a leader. I want to be the best leader that I can be for my team, and I think that I can do that by doing what he says, pairing action with knowledge. I'm always out there trying to learn more information, not only about my product, but about my team members, about my customers. I want all of my actions to also go with something that I know. If somebody asks me a question, I want to be able to answer that question. And I also want to be honest with them if I don't know the answer. But I want to be able to find that answer for them. And hopefully we can work together. So I'm always doing my homework. You always need to do your homework if you're going to be a leader and be working in your group in that leadership position. Okay, so investigate and be knowledgeable before charging ahead. I have a tendency to just go and do things without necessarily knowing exactly what all the ins and outs are. I've really tried to stop doing that as much as I had previously. So maybe that's something that some of my team can keep me accountable on I'm not doing my homework before I'm charging ahead because I'm so excited about something. This definitely builds trust with your team. It builds confidence with you, with your team, and with your customers as well. The fifth thing that Kevin says to do is accept the value of failure. And again, that's something that we talked about tonight on our conference. You know, there are going to be failures. You're going to have people say no. You're going to have people ask you, why are you doing this? Oh, is this a pyramid scheme? Network marketing, oh, that's a joke. You're going to have people say these kinds of things all the time. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that when you go out there and you do make a mistake, because we all make mistakes, when you do make mistakes, you can learn from that mistake. Look at that risk and take advantage of that risk. Harness the energy, and these are Kevin's words here. He says, harness the energy and the adrenaline and make sure that you're using the failure as a learning opportunity. We all know that we get better from knowing our mistakes, acknowledging our mistakes, and moving forward after making those mistakes. So that's something I would encourage everybody to do. It's something that I want to work on with my team, is understanding that failure is normal. It's something that happens. We learn from it, we move forward, and that makes us a better, stronger team. The sixth thing that Kevin talks about, he says, make the most of your small wins. You know, sometimes we get so carried away with our aspirations that we forget to take those tiny little things that are important and say, hey, look at this, look what I did. And those small things build up upon one another. And in doing that, we get better. We understand more. We become stronger. Um, so that's something that I think that we need to do as a team. He says that most situations, he being Kevin, says that most situations are not perfect to begin with. So you take that situation for what it is and you move forward. You accept it for what it is. You accept it as that small victory, and then you move forward as you can. And then those small victories turn into something big. They turn into something grand. And that's how you get respect from yourself, from your family, your friends, from all those naysayers out there, from your team, and from your customers. And finally, the seventh that he says, and I love this because I'm a huge fan of Eric Rohr, and one of the things that that Kevin is saying here is build momentum. You have to take a series of actions and create those series of actions and victories in your team, and use that to build momentum, to build speed, to build confidence, and all of that turns into to power. And you never want to just coast, because when you're just coasting, then that's what your team's going to think is okay to do. And if everybody's just coasting, then eventually you stop instead of moving forward. So he says cultivate those relationships and build yourself a fan base. And, you know, get people talking. You want people to take notice. Get people talking, because the more people talk, the more people have things to say. Some of the negative things they say you can take and you can learn from them. And the positive things you say, you can build upon those to feel better about yourself and your team. So, excuse me, I just had to add that tonight to what I was saying, because it was so powerful, our team meeting, that I just wanted to share that article from Kevin Daum with everybody out there. So see you tomorrow. Have a good night.